it's Lauren Daisy. Welcome back to the Pretty and Witty podcast. My guest today is the viral TikToker Diana. She has, well, you probably will know her from her iconic series on TikTok and Instagram where she kind of recreates scenes from TV shows and books with her husband, and her videos have amassed millions and millions of views. So I was so excited to talk to her about what that was like, you know, kind of blowing up on social media almost like overnight, and what the production is like for those videos, the planning, what is her day-to-day life like, her travel. You know, she's lived in so many different places, she's done so many cool things. She's just so interesting. Honestly, I feel like she needs to write a book about her life because there is so much to tell, and she was so sweet, so lovely, and I absolutely loved having her on the podcast. A huge thank you to her for doing that. And I hope you guys also love the chat that we had, and we'll go over and watch all of her videos. She's just starting to do vlogs now on YouTube as well, which is super exciting. And yeah, it was just such an interesting chat. So I hope you guys really like it. I wanted to start off by asking you about what you kind of chose to study at school, and kind of what you wanted, what kind of career did you want when you were younger?
To give you some context, so English is not my first language. So I was born in Russia, but I've been learning English since I was 6, and I applied to. So it's linguistics. So that was my major. So I did my bachelor's degree in linguistics. So I wanted to be kind of like an interpreter or like a translator. So kind of like that. But then I just admitted to myself that I mostly did it not because I wanted to pursue that career, but I just wanted to learn English. So that's the only thing I was good at. So I was like, okay, then linguistics. And then, so when it was my last year at school, I was like, well, what I'm gonna do next? And I was like, well, I am not ready to join the workforce. So I'm going to continue my education. So I decided to do my master's degree, and I did that in the United States. So I applied. Yes, I applied to Clark University. I don't know if you know it. It's in Massachusetts. So so I lived in that state. So it's very close. It's like Boston area, so it's very close to Boston. And yeah, so I did my master's in professional communication. So we started social media, marketing, so all that great stuff that I am into right now. So
Yeah.
that was cool. And so basically I wanted, and at that time I already had my Russian account on Instagram. So I was a content creator in my own language, and I wanted to do something in English, and I even started, but it wasn't very, I don't know, I just when I came back to Russia from when I finished my education, it was just weird for me to continue my English account in not in an English speaking country. So I was like, I don't know, I just stopped doing that. And that's a pity. If I continued, I'd probably I don't know, it probably had gotten me somewhere else. I don't know, but yeah. So and then but I wanted to do content creation full time.
Yeah.
I just didn't have resources for that because in the first couple of years you really don't make any money, so you just do it out of enthusiasm. And I needed money, obviously, so I continued my career in professional communication, which is basically sales. So I did B2B sales for 4 years, well, for a long time.
Yeah.
And but that job, which I'm very I was so lucky to have it because it allowed me to actually save money and do content creation in my free time. So eventually I quit my job and I pursued career in content creation.
It is hard, definitely, isn't it? Well, like when you first want to get started, because it takes so long to get to the point where you can earn money from it. So like you said, it really is just all a passion project in the beginning.
Exactly.
But that's so cool that I didn't realize that you had, so is that like a completely separate account, where you would like speak in Russian and everything?
Yeah. So yeah,
Did that kind of amass like obviously, and now you have like almost 1 million followers on Instagram. Did your kind of Russian account get big numbers, or was it more once you started on the English side?
Yeah. It's because it's so interesting because I have different strategies in like
Okay.
both accounts.
Yeah.
So and for some reason, I decided not to do the same. My Russian account, it's mostly about, so first it was about my time in the United States, so
Mm-hmm.
like my journey there. And then what else? So then it was something like when I went back to Russia, but then I had to move again. So it was more about like, um, not immigration, but like a expat. Is it expat life?
Oh yes, yeah. So just
Yeah.
kind of
So
like moving around to different places
yes,
and all that
yes,
stuff.
yes.
Yeah.
So about that. So I lived in Turkey for a while,
Oh
and then I
wow.
moved to Montenegro, and right now I'm in Montenegro. So
Mm-hmm.
and like I was blogging basically about that. So I was like creating content around that. And then also when I decided that okay, it's time for me to quit my job. So obviously I didn't do that like in a few days. I needed
Yeah.
like a year to get prepared for that.
Yeah.
So I was basically documenting my journey, um, that journey, and it was all so it was centered around me, and it didn't grow um, that fast. So right now I have around like just 40,000
Oh
followers,
wow.
something like that. But like compared to my English blog, it's just a very small
Yeah.
amount, but it's still like it's a good amount of audience,
Yeah,
obviously.
definitely.
And they are super loyal and they're like super supportive, so that's the most important part.
Mm-hmm.
But in terms of like the amount of audience, it's definitely small. So when I started my English account, I was like, okay, I really want to grow like internationally. And I was like, what can I do different this time?
Mm.
And I was like, the answer was right there. It was at that time it was my boyfriend. Right now it's my husband. And I was like, we can do
Yeah.
couple content. Like,
Yeah.
it's something that a lot of people can relate, so we can center it
Mm-hmm.
around like healthy relationship and just share our like romantic life and just our everyday life as well. And it did work. So it
Yeah.
worked out real great. So um I don't know why I don't do that in my Russian account. I wanted to, but seeing like that success of my English account, so I was
Mm.
like, maybe I should do the same thing. But at the same time, I was like, I don't know. So I don't
It's
know. It's
kind of
just
nice
yeah,
though to have, yeah, like separate
yeah.
content
So
styles as
yeah.
well and not have them exactly the same, because you get to then go over to your like Russian account and you know that your followers are there for like that side of your journey that's
Hmm.
more like you individually, but then you can also
Yes.
enjoy the couples content on the English side. So it's kind of like the best of both worlds, sort of.
Exactly, because I see that it's real hard for content creators to put themselves in just one, how to say, not one box, but like
Oh, kind of like one niche.
yes,
Yeah.
yes, and then yeah, so you want to have this creative freedom, like you want to express yourself in multiple ways because like
Mm.
like show different sides of yourself, but like algorithms, they don't like it, so
No, they do not. They like when you
so
have one thing that you do and
yes.
that's it.
Yes, especially at the very beginning, like it's super important to do something more or less similar, like similar content,
Mm.
just to so that like Instagram just figures out who you are and what you have to offer.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
What was that like then, transitioning from the more traditional 9 to 5 to being self employed? Did you kind of like struggle with it in the beginning, or were you like, this is what I always wanted, so you were just kind of excited to get into that?
Hmm. Yeah, it was definitely hard. Like I
Mm.
had, I think, around like 4 attempts to do that.
Oh wow, okay, yeah.
Yeah, so it wasn't like not from the first time that I like
Mm.
succeeded in self-employment. Like no. So I it was actually like a real mm, fun like moment in my Russian blog because I was sharing all this, and my audience was like, "Oh, so is she gonna succeed this time?" Because I'm like, "Okay, it's my second time. Okay, it's my third time."
Yeah, they've been
So it
like
was like,
following the whole journey.
yes, because yeah, it was definitely hard. And so for the first like 3 times I tried self-employment, I couldn't make enough money on my own. So that's
Hmm.
why I was like, okay, I need to go back to my job. And I had like the most um, amazing employer who had me back all
Hmm.
those times. So he was happy to have me back. The main mistake probably that I had was not having enough plans. So I had
Mm.
just one plan B and that's it. And
Yeah.
then if that didn't work out, so then I go back to corporate job. So that was kind of like that. But the last time, so I was like 100% sure that I have multiple plans. So
Yes. Yeah.
it was not just my own, like my Russian account that at that time. So I was already making decent income from that. And then also I started doing UGC creation. So it's like with the different brands. It was not a lot, but still something. And
Yes.
then
Yeah.
also like I started English account, and obviously like it was a good like investment at that time, just of my
Hmm.
time and effort. Of course, it didn't bring any money at that time, but there was like I will get there. So that's what I
Yeah, you're
was
kind of like
thinking.
building that foundation
Yeah,
there.
yeah, yeah, yeah. So yeah, and then also I have like at that time I had and I still have a few educational projects for other like content creators, but it's like in Russian, but like
Oh
still.
wow, that's really interesting.
Yeah, so it was like a lot. So I was like,
Yeah.
also like I had like a side hustle as a like social media strategist for like to help grow other accounts. So it was like a lot of different things. And I was like,
Yeah.
okay, now I'm pretty much confident I can do that. So yeah, and it's been a year. It's been a year
Oh wow, whole
since I quit.
year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hmm.
I think it's also so nice when you then are able to put all of your time into the thing you really want to do,
Yeah.
because having that 9 to 5, it's great for the money aspect, but then
Hmm.
when you finish that, you're like, okay, now I'm starting a whole other job like
Hmm.
on top of that. So now it's like you
Yeah.
can just really focus and like put all your effort into that. So how many followers did you have on your English account when you went full time a year ago?
It was like maybe 20,000, I would
Wow,
say.
that's
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
in a whole year you've gained like almost 800,000 on
Yeah.
Instagram and that.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's like as well that shows, I think, other, content creators that are maybe wanting to go full time, if it's possible, you then once you're able to dedicate all that time, you really do see that kind of
Exactly.
growth come out of it.
And that's also why I think my Russian blog was not that successful as English blog, because I was still doing that while I was having my nine to
Mm,
five. So that was
yeah.
definitely not easy, so to say.
Yeah.
So yeah, and then once I was like, okay, it's either I quit and I just dedicate everything. So of course we had to, I mean, we like my boyfriend and I, we had to cut our expenses
Mm-hmm.
significantly, and we also like had this like savings, and it was time when we had to actually use that money to actually get to help us get through.
Yeah.
And yeah, so it was not easy in that sense, but it was definitely worth it. So
That's one of the things that I really love about your content is that
I am able to kind of, like you said, it's very, like, couples content is very relatable, but also what I love about yours is it's also shows the side of being in a relationship with a content creator, because like that's kind of similar. So me and my fiance, like, he works a, you know, full-time job and everything, and when it came time for me to say, you know, I kind of want to do this full-time, he was then able to, he was straight away was like, yeah, I believe like that you can do this and that we will work it out. And we, you know, had to, you do all that boring stuff of looking through the finances and can this work and everything. And I think that is such a amazing thing to see in other, is to see that there are couples out there that make it work and that you can find someone that will support your creative journey like full force. So I just love seeing that like in your content as well. And I think it's such a nice kind of, I don't know, it's such a nice message to put out there, especially with TikTok and Instagram. You can see there is so much couples content, and a lot of it sometimes can be quite negative, or, you know, especially in the comments and things. And so to have, you know, you putting that more healthy relationship out there and your advice and your experiences, I think is like great for other people to kind of look to as a, this is what you can have in a way.
Yeah, of course.
So then do you find it, with that, you know, kind of being said, that double-edged sort of couples content, do you find it hard putting your relationship online sometimes, or did it just kind of come naturally to you to be like, we want to show our love and how we live our life?
Yeah, I think it's the second, because I don't know, I'm just since I've been doing content creation for so long, I kind of got used to being very open about
Yeah, it
my
just
life.
kind of comes naturally.
Yeah, so when I decided to do couple content, it was just the extension of me being open, but this time about my relationship.
Yeah.
And also you mentioned that it's important to show other people what's actually possible, and that's the main, not maybe like the main, but one of the things that actually is like driving me to keep creating content about relationship, is just again to not to maybe inspire, but just to really show how good, happy, healthy relationship can look. And
Yeah.
because again, like social media can be quite destructive, and I just
Definitely.
I want to, you know, like show the other side of it. And yeah, so if I know, like if you're so lucky to have a platform where you can use your voice, I think it's like super, so like it's such a privilege, and I just want to do it right. So that's, I guess that's something that motivates me to open up, even about things that might be quite vulnerable. For example, like my latest videos were about um, like unusual relationship dynamic where like I make more money, or like I was like the only provider. There was like time when I was the only provider. So those things, and I know that it's not what usually people talk about on social media, and I was like, well, but there are so many other couples with the same dynamic who are not represented, so they need to be represented as well. So I was like, I'm gonna do that. If this is what's gonna help someone, then it's definitely worth it. So
Yeah, I found those videos really interesting because that's similar to my dynamic with my fiance, except he's more in your position where he has the higher earning job and I'm like doing the self-employed stuff. So on that hand, I thought it was really interesting, but I also loved hearing it from your perspective as, I guess, kind of societally, if that's the right word. We see a lot of men as the breadwinners, or the ones, you know, in the stay-at-home wives and that kind of thing. So I loved that you were talking about how your husband felt comfortable in that role of like the I think you called it like the house spouse or something, which I really loved that. And I just think that is so, again, it's just so nice and healthy to see that dynamic kind of like reversed in a way that we don't see that often. And I think it's great that, like you said, if there's not someone talking about it or there isn't representation for it, like you can then be that, and other people can see it and be like, oh, so they're comfortable in that, and he's obviously, you know, happy supporting her and doing those things. And, you know, like how you were explaining the different roles of how he would make dinner and everything, and breakfast and lunch and tidy the house, like all of that has so much value in it. And I think sometimes people aren't able to see that. They're like, well, if it doesn't bring in money, it doesn't have value. So I loved that you were like, when I needed him the most, he was doing those things.
Yeah.
And that had a huge impact on my life and my ability to do my job. So I just loved that. I thought that was so interesting. And I love you, feeling comfortable sharing that. And I think, like you said, it can be quite a toxic place sometimes, social media, and especially when it comes to couples content and how people feel like they can comment on other people's relationships and stuff. So I love that your page is kind of a, you know, trying to be a bit of a bright light within that and showcasing a different dynamic. I think that's so fun.
Yeah.
So then, like you said, you're both from Russia, right? Yeah. But you now live together in Montenegro. So what kind of drew you there? Because you said you've lived in Turkey and you obviously lived in the States. So what's it been like kind of living in different places, and what made you think this is where we want to build our life together?
Well, that's not the final destination yet. So
Okay.
we're still figuring it out because we still want to move to probably a bigger country. So we were just so, I don't know, like exhausted from big city life. So we want to take a break and we want to just, I don't know, kind of like relax. And I know it's kind of like a retirement because like we work from like our phones now, and we don't like party, so we don't do like any fun stuff. So it's so we needed that, but it's been like 3 years now, so I think we got enough of that. So we're probably like small town living. So we're probably ready for the next move, but we're still figuring out like what's it gonna be. And yeah, but like it was like moving countries, I don't know, just something, again, it's quite natural, I think, because I always wanted to explore and like live somewhere else.
Yeah, just kind of see the world and
Yeah,
what each
yeah,
country has to offer.
exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. And not even like in terms of traveling, because I don't think that we travel a lot. But just really live like in different countries, and yeah, and see, I don't know, it's kind of like challenge yourself, like you challenge yourself
Yeah.
when you move to a different country and you build life there, and then once everything is super clear to you, you just move to the next country. I don't know.
And you just start the whole cycle again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
I
kind of like
really,
got addicted to that.
yeah, I really feel that same way, because we had lived in a city in the UK, and we also got to a similar point where we were like, we've kind of done this now, and you know, moved to like the small town and live that kind of life. And I think it's fun to experience those different things, because you don't know what you're going to like and what you're going to enjoy until
Exactly.
you kind of do it. So I think that's really fun. I love, like, I think your videos always just look so nice, like when you do your like seaside town living. I'm like, looks like such a dream to live there.
Yeah.
And then also, obviously, like you said, boyfriend, fiance, husband. So congratulations on that. And I just wanted to ask you, just kind of selfishly, because I'm getting married in November and doing like destination wedding and everything. And so I just wanted to ask you, like, what was your wedding day like? I just love asking people about their wedding days.
Yeah.
And like you got married in Georgia, so you kind of did like a little destination wedding type thing. So yeah, like, what was that day like for you, I suppose?
It was very chaotic. Is that the word?
Yeah. I think a lot of people end up saying that about their wedding days.
Yes, because well, it was really like the decision to move our wedding was very spontaneous, because we wanted to do to celebrate our wedding in May, like May 2026. So, and in Russia, basically. So I really
Okay.
wanted to go back home, I guess, if I can still call it home, but yeah, and like celebrate there. So, but it was like last minute. We were like, okay, so we um like all our family, like my parents and his parents, so we all gonna be in Georgia at the end of December. Like we planned this family trip just to get to know each other because our parents, they did not know each other at that time, and also like go skiing. So we like we're gonna be there, and what's stopping us from getting married there is like,
Yeah.
well, we will save a lot of money because like the wedding that we are planning in May, it would have been like huge, I think, probably. So that was the plan. But then we're like, well, we still wanna like, do we really want to do that? And then also, it's gonna sound very boring, but we needed to do our papers, like immigration
Oh, I'm that.
papers.
Yeah. Yeah.
So like
All
we
the marriage certificates, the notify,
exactly.
all that stuff. It's not
Yeah,
as easy as just say I do and move on. It's
exactly,
it's
exactly.
so in depth. Yeah.
Yeah, and we needed that certificate for our documents here in Montenegro, because we need to update our status here, and it would be
Hmm.
great if we were like finally married. It was like simplify the process so much. So like, do we really want to wait until May and do like all that stuff after it and like spend our like whole summer figuring out those like documents and everything? Or we can really do that in December. So that would make total sense. So we were
Yeah.
like, yeah, let's do that. And it was like 2 weeks, I think, like two
Oh my
weeks. I was
gosh.
like,
Yeah.
Jesus, okay, we can do that. So yeah, so we hired an agency to help us with that.
Hmm.
And then yeah, so we told our parents. So my husband's parents were pretty cool about that, but my parents, they just freaked out. They was like, "What?"
It's too soon.
Yeah, we were like, "We are not ready." I was like, "What do you like? What do you need to be ready for?" It's like my wedding.
Yeah. You're like,
Like
I'm the
what?
bride. I need the
Yeah,
dress. I'm the one that should be like panicking.
you just chill. Like what? So
Yeah.
no, they were like, "Okay, we need to process that." I was like, "Wow, so dramatic," but okay. So it was really funny, but yeah, so we kept it pretty like low key. I know, like
Hmm.
the dress, and it was
The
pretty
dress was gorgeous. I
simple. Oh,
loved it.
thank you, but I was like, it was like the last mm, like I spent the entire day trying to find the perfect dress, and I was like almost gave up when finally like it was already like 9 p.m. or something. Like all the malls, they like closing. Well, just one mall because Montenegro is a very small country, so there is just one mall.
Yeah.
So it was like, yeah, it was like already like closing time, and then there was like that dress. I finally found it, so I was pretty happy about it. But it's not like, you know the, like a bridal dress, because like it's not like very like big and all like fluffy. Like no, it's like pretty simple, but yeah, it's still like elegant. So I was happy with that. And then yeah, so that, and then what else, like rings again, they was like super simple, like silver rings, like very, like, like nothing fancy here. But yeah, so at least we managed to do that in basically a few days. So, and then we flew to Georgia. And the day itself, so if we had if we had like Mm, I know if we had been prepared properly for the entire thing, we would first had the wedding and then like our time in the mountains skiing. But because it
Yes.
was very chaotic, it was first we were skiing, and then so we had to wake up at like 5 a.m., go to Tbilisi, which is like the capital, and then so we drove there. We applied, so we filed like submitted the papers in the morning. Then we went to the hotel. So there I got prepared. So like the hair, the makeup, I did everything by myself because we didn't have time to hire anyone. So I did that. And then but it was so romantic. I mean, because we had so not a lot of time, I asked my fiance, okay, you go to McDonald's, get us some burgers. And then also we came up with it was not the flu, but it was kind of like a cold after
Oh,
skiing. So we were taking medicine and then eating those burgers and then getting prepared together. And it was like, I don't know, it was just such a sweet moment. I think it was like, I know that's because, well, that's about like your everyday life after the wedding and having it, sharing those simple moments. This is that's what gonna wait for you after like that fancy day of your wedding. So what comes after is like more important than the day itself. So I was really happy that we could, be truly like 100% ourselves, just like how we're gonna be after the wedding. So yeah, and then also like keeping it very low, it was less stressful, I think, because we were like, well, even if anything goes wrong, it's still gonna be us and our parents, so we really don't care at that point. So yeah, but at the end of the day, it was like real perfect. So it was real sweet and very intimate, just like close people, and we did everything we wanted to do during the ceremony. So we shared like those like special words with each other. We cried, of course. And yeah, and then what? Oh, and then we even managed to do that dance from the Vampire Diaries. So that dance.
yeah. Yeah. Oh my god, that's amazing.
I wanted to do that so badly. Like we didn't rehearse. I just because well, I made my boyfriend at that time, so I made him to watch the Vampire Diaries with me.
Hmm.
So I was like, remember the dance? So we're doing it. Okay. So yeah, it was great. No one got it. Like no, they're like what they're doing, but we were happy.
Yeah, I did the exact same thing. Like when me and my fiance first got together, bless his heart, I made him watch Pretty Little Liars, Gossip Girl, Desperate Housewives, like all my favorite shows.
Hmm.
I was like, if you are gonna love me, you need to love the
Hmm.
shows that I love. So I love that you
Yeah.
like, yeah, incorporated that into your day as well. That's so fun. And I think as well, it's just nice to hear stories like that and to like see like the videos that you posted from it and like it was just so sweet to see because I think a lot of the reason why you do the wedding is to be married and like you said it's about your life after that because
Yeah.
it is just the one day
Hmm.
and so it can get swept up in like you said like the huge dress and the venue and the all the people you feel like you have to invite and
Hmm.
that you might not necessarily would if you were just
Yeah.
doing it for yourself like and the stress that can come along with that day um and I think like you said it's just so romantic and intimate to be like this is really just about us and the
Yeah.
things that we wanted and you got to do like you said everything you wanted to do on the day and just enjoy it together
Hmm.
kind of as more of a reflection of what your married life will be like rather
Yeah.
than like the fairy
Exactly.
tale of the wedding day. So I just love that.
Yeah.
I think that is
Yeah.
so sweet. Going back to your content and things, because like you said, the couples content was what you felt like was really like took off for you. How I kind of discovered your page was on TikTok. And I like a lot of other people.
Hmm.
And so what was that like to go viral with your Sabrina Carpenter,
Hmm.
like tears book POV videos? I think you've got like, is it like 12 of them now, maybe or something?
Yeah.
But that like kind of first one or the first one that kind of took off. like, what was that like to have suddenly so many eyes on your video at once?
It was crazy.
Yes.
I remember that. Like the very first video, it went viral, but it wasn't like super huge, I think. But still, it was like, so it was big enough for us to understand that we need to continue that. So, but with the second video, I think that brought me a lot of followers over the night, and I think it was like just a few days between like 30,000 that I had when I started doing this trend. And then in a few days, it was like 100. And when I saw that, like 100,000 followers, I remember that moment very, very clearly. I was like, what?
This is so many people.
That's a lot. And I was like, what's going on? That was, yeah, that was huge. And I don't know, I did not expect that at all. And so when it happened, I was like, wow, that's just crazy. Yeah, and then I was like, okay, so we need to create more of those videos. So that's what we did. But yeah, and then another thing is I think I kept reminding myself not to look at those numbers, because when you actually think about it, it just I don't know, like it's
overwhelming.
yeah, to say the least.
Yeah.
So yeah, I was like, I will just continue doing what I did. So as if it were like just 30,000. That's
Yeah.
that's a good amount. So yeah, I think that's the key, like not to get overwhelmed, and uh, to just not to shift your content under the pressure of that audience, because that can really influence what you create. So you just don't think about it like this is a lot of eyes there looking at you.
Yeah, I think it is like, it's hard, isn't it, when you have something that is so successful and you're like, because it is also a business at the end of the day, kind of like you said, when you're first starting, you don't make money from it. But then when it's your job and you're like, well, I know these videos are going to do really well. Should I maybe, tailor it more towards trends or towards things that I know are going to get that engagement?
Yeah.
It is then, I think, like you said, it's really important to also stay true to the content that you wanted to make and you always wanted to make. And I think people also like resonate with that as well.
Yeah.
When they can tell that it's genuine and it's stuff that you love making and it comes like from you rather than just following different trends.
Yeah, exactly.
Do you find a big difference between your like Instagram following and your TikTok following, or do you find it's kind of a lot of the same people, or do you find Instagram's more interested in, say, like your travel content or your more personal content, whereas TikTok is more loves those kind of viral type videos? Do you kind of see a difference there?
So I think content creators are either so they are like, how do I put it? So there are Instagrammers and TikTokers. So I am an Instagram girly. So I'm not very good at TikTok, even though those are like social media platforms. They're still pretty much different in terms of how you what content you put there and like what audience is used to seeing there. So Instagram, it's more static, more visual, like appealing. So it's kind of like that. And I know how to create that type of content. But like those like raw, unfiltered videos, they are more for TikTok. And so also like the content on TikTok is more spontaneous. I think it's more like you have a thought and you don't overthink it much. You just open your camera
post it and
you
just
just
go.
record and post it. But no, like I think I first need to think what I'm gonna say. So it's kind of like that. I need to like get the right angle. So maybe like lighting, so kind of like those things. So yeah, and then also in terms of performance, I think like stats, I way better on Instagram
Hmm.
personally for me, even for like those viral videos. They performed way better on Instagram than on TikTok, which is weird, but yeah, so it's kind of like that. But also at the same time, I think on TikTok, I don't know, like people are more um I want to say more engaged in terms of like the comments there are more thoughtful.
Mm.
Probably like they like to discuss things, so they
Yeah.
love to share opinions. We see that on Instagram as well, but I think it's just a little bit more of that on TikTok. And also like since there is like monetization on TikTok, so
Hmm.
and like those like the platform encourages lengthy videos, which is like 1 minute long, so or like longer.
Hmm.
So again, that allows content creators to create like longer, more again thoughtful videos. So and on Instagram, like it's more like of a quick videos, and again, there's no
Yeah.
monetization there, so there's no incentive to creators to actually um make quality videos like opinion videos or like informative videos, so it's more on TikTok. So I don't know, yeah, so it's kind of like kind of like that.
I feel the exact same way. I think, I mean, I'm like primarily a YouTube girly. That's like where I make
Mm,
my content and post on there. Um, but I like to enjoy and to watch. I'm such an Instagram girly because
mm,
like you said, I love the aesthetic of the
mm-hmm,
videos. I love that more visual element more so even than like the talking and those kind of like videos
mm-hmm,
on TikTok. So then like your videos have kind of always had that, I think, like even the the viral ones and stuff, they have um just a nice like cohesion, which
mm-hmm.
I don't know if everyone thinks like that, but I really appreciate, like when I scroll through, I'm like, all your thumbnails match, everything
Yeah.
is like the same color, like everything just looks great, and you
Mm-hmm,
have your outfits and everything just has a very cohesive kind of vibe to it.
mm-hmm.
And like your most recent one, the like Bridgerton inspired ones, that you
Yeah.
had that gorgeous dress and the kind of like set design. So what's like kind of your process of something like that? Is it very creative? Are you kind of thinking, okay, so where do I want this to be set? What I want it to look like? How do I want to be dressed in it? Like, is that, like you said, you prefer that more visual thing?
Mm-hmm.
So if you're like, do you kind of, I guess, sit down and think, this is the video I want to make, this is how I
Mm-hmm.
want it to look, and then you kind of plan and go from there? Or is it more, yeah, just kind of comes naturally and it's a
Mm-hmm.
shorter process?
Yeah, so well, first, I need inspiration. So it can be different things. It can be like a certain dress that I see. I was like, I want to
Mm-hmm.
create something around it. Or if it's like a movie scene or something like right now. So we are trying to shift from book series to like movie series and like recreate
Okay, yeah.
scenes from different movies and TV shows. And we like so while I was like watching Bridgerton, I was like, well, those are perfect scenes that we can recreate. So
Mm.
or maybe it can be inspired by a certain place. So for example, like from Bridgerton, I was like, okay, we so we were scrolling through different hotels, so where we're gonna stay and celebrate our 5th anniversary, which was like just a few days ago. So we were like,
Oh,
okay, so yeah,
congratulations.
thank you. So yeah, and we saw that hotel with very like Bridgerton themed
Mm.
hotel, and it's like that's like the perfect setting, so we can definitely create something there. And then so like, okay, what are we gonna create there? So I was like, okay, I saw that scene in Bridgerton, so we can recreate that one. Okay, so we need a dress for that, we need like certain lighting, we need like certain jewelry, so we just like masks and like
Mm.
and also gloves and like all those elements, so we just put it all
Yeah, I
together
loved the
and
attention to detail. Like it
mm-hmm.
really showed like that you'd taken the time, because like
Yeah.
it is like you said, it's a sometimes 10-second, 15-second like video. But I love that when I watch your videos, I can see the time and the effort that you've like put into them and all the little details. Like I'll rewatch them so that I can see all the different like notes and things that you've like put in there.
I'm so happy to hear that. Yeah, well, actually, if it was not for linguistics, like before that, I actually did a year in international relations.
Oh, wow. Okay, yeah.
But just a year, I then dropped, and I out of that, and then I just started linguistics. But before that, it was my parents' decision. Like, you should do international relations because that's successful in their understanding. So that's how they understand success, I guess. But I wanted to be a director.
Oh wow,
So I wanted to be a film like something to like in filmmaking or something like that, because I know I just love that, and like the movie industry, so always been fascinated about that. So I wanted to do something like that, but then my parents were like, it's gonna be hard for you like to land a job. No.
It's definitely a tough industry for sure.
Yeah, so I think like content creation for me is also something that helps my inner filmmaker to
kind of lets you express that. Yeah,
exactly. So that's why we like love those series so much, and we try to keep them cinematic. So it's kind of like with the instruments that we have, we don't have a lot, but still like with those instruments that we have. So so I think it definitely, like I said, definitely it's inspiration. So either place or certain item or certain scene, even like a music. So I can be very like how to say, like hung up on certain music, if that's like correctly. So I was like, I really want to do something with that sound. And I was like, okay, what we can do. So that was Tears by Sabrina Carpenter, basically. I was like, we really need to do something with that. But
is that something you would like? Is that still kind of what you kind of hope will be part of your journey, that maybe film thing kind of industry? Or are you like, no, like content creation is more your dream job? Or are you like, it would be great if this could then lead to maybe eventually those paths kind of crossing again?
Yeah, so I'm open to to any opportunities that can come along. So maybe I don't know, maybe with the right not like well I follow a lot of different creators who do like little vertical movies, like they are very cinematic, and I was like, wow, so maybe that's the next step that I would like to do eventually.
That'd be so fun.
So, and like with the script, with like, I don't know, with the right equipment, so we shoot everything on our phones, but eventually maybe we'll save enough money and we will get like great cameras and we learn how to use them, so that would be cool. And so something like that. But I don't know, like from time to time I Google different filmmaking programs, different universities, so like workshops or something. So I was like, well, maybe one day. I don't know.
Yeah, kind of like take a class or kind of like dip your toe in a little. I think that's one of those industries as well where there's always so much to learn and so much to like keep exploring as part of it. Like you said, there's the set, there's the costumes, there's the editing, there's the filming, the lighting, like all of that. And it's kind of, I think that's the fun thing about smaller scale, like you said, like Instagram, or even if you wanted to do like a YouTube kind of short film, you can kind of do all that yourself and have a chance to have a go at all of it. And then rather than like it if it was a TV show or a movie, that's like years, whereas you can just post that straight away and immediately have people see it and get their reaction and everything. Like I think as a creative person, that is like such a buzz to be able to have people like consume something that you put your like time and that into.
Exactly.
So I saw as well that you've recently, I think it was December, launched your YouTube channel for more like long form content. So kind of what made you think, you know what, actually this short form content, I kind of want to do that on a longer scale on YouTube?
Yeah, well, I love vlogs. Like I like to watch
Yep.
vlogs and I love vlogging. I was like, well, I like those like vertical videos is just 1 minute, well, 2 minutes top, and that's just not enough. So,
Yeah.
yeah, and then also I love editing a lot, so it's way more fun to do that with like longer form videos. So, yeah, so that's why I was like, yeah, we should start YouTube channel, and just again, we're keeping it low, so it's like very low key,
Low
but
pressure.
yeah. So, but yeah, so it's just, and also, the second thing is basically documenting your life. Has like great, um, like it means a lot because you get to, um, have all those memories right there
Yeah.
in one video, so you can just come back to that video, watch it, so it's just super great, and you can show it later to your family, for example, like my family, so they are far from me, and obviously I don't keep updating them with like every little detail of my life, but I can send them this video, like, so they can watch it and they can be in the loop, so to say. So
yeah, I love that. It's like that human like connection part of it, which can get a little lost in the short form content.
exactly, and then
You know, on YouTube, those like whoever subscribes or whether you're sending it to your family and friends, you know, like they're in it for you and to see what you're up to, which is like really fun.
yeah, and then in 10 years or like 20 years, I'll be so grateful that I actually documented everything, and I made like sense out of it, because when those are just separate videos on your phone gallery, that's like one thing. So, but when it's like all in one, like one place, in one, like, I don't know, like 45-minute long video, so that's just allows you to actually like, get like a full picture of what happened to you like in that period of your life. So just kind of like that.
Yeah, it's like a virtual, like, I don't know, like memory box or photo book like kind of thing, which is so fun. I feel like every time I watch, exactly. Every time I watch, I don't know if you watch Zoella, like Zoe Sugg.
I love her.
Every time she does Vlogmas, I'm like, oh my gosh. Every time Vlogmas every year, like I tune in, I'm like, and it'll be so fun for then like her and her kids to be able to watch those back. Because like we had that when I was a kid, like my parents did home videos and that kind of thing, and that is almost like, I don't know, it's like a bit of a lost art form in a way, and I love having those to watch from when I was a kid. So I'm like, oh, that'll be so fun. And like you said, when you film things on your phone, like they kind of get lost, or you have so many pictures that you don't really go back and look at them. Whereas to have it almost like a little mini movie that you can then just be like, oh, remember when we went to that place? And then you can just watch it, or you can show your kids, or like you said, your parents can watch it to kind of catch up on what you're doing. It's just so many different like ways of sharing. So I love it. Who would you say are like your most kind of favorite content creators that you engage with and that you watch like daily or weekly, or
I love Anna Sitar, I think.
Yes, on TikTok.
Yes.
Also I love her
Instagram
videos.
And also TikTok. She started, I think, in 2020, so like during COVID, so she did a lot since then. So yeah, I love her. Yeah, I think she's like the main one who I like watch a lot. Well, Spencer Barbosa from Canada.
Yes, I love her as well.
Who else? Oh, that's just hard to say right now, but yeah, so I think those two
Those would be the
creators.
top two.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think what makes them so enjoyable as well is that similar thing of just kind of watching their life and their journey,
Yeah.
and they just come across as so genuine and sweet, and it's just fun to see them get all the opportunities that they get and kind of how their life is going. Like I know that Spencer got engaged like last year or this year. So it's like, I don't know, I love it. I'm like, oh my gosh, like following like as their life kind of goes. I think is so fun. Your channel, it airs more like on the personal side, and you kind of share your interests and things. So I wanted to do more like a little, I guess, like kind of like not quick fire, but go through like some of your interests. So obviously you have like the like reading, and that's kind of where those videos went viral, is more like BookTok and stuff. So what are your like some of your standout favorite books that you would recommend to people?
Oh, that's a good question. Well, if we're talking about like romantic books, so I, thanks to my audience who kind of gave me a lot of recommendations what to read. So I started reading Akatar. So that's
Oh
the
yes,
classic
yeah.
of like romantic books. So I actually like I am finishing it right now. So I'm like on book fifth, yes. So it's the last one. So yeah, I was really enjoying the series. So it was like I would definitely recommend that. But then, well, before that, so I've been reading not quite romantic books, I would say, which is weird because like I came up with those like romantic spiral series,
Yeah.
but I read mostly like Russian literature, like classic literature.
yeah.
So there is nothing romantic about them. But also I'm a big fan of like more like historic books. So it's
Oh wow,
probably
yeah.
well, not historic, but like in that like in like capturing like 19th 18th centuries, so kind of like that.
Yeah.
So I don't know, like I love Little Women, I love Pride and Prejudice, like I love Wuthering Heights. So super excited about the upcoming movie.
I was
So
gonna say you're gonna go and see the
yeah, of
movie.
course.
I'm absolutely gonna go and see the movie, yeah.
So yeah, I think those like Little Women probably is my favorite. So yeah.
I love that. And then what is kind of the next book on your list, or something that is on your to read list that you're excited to get to?
It's gonna be Great Gatsby.
Oh wow, yeah.
I'm super
The proper like
excited.
classics.
Yeah, so I'm gonna take a break from romantasy books. Even though I do want to read like Fourth Wing, I think, and then
Yes, that's like another huge one.
Throne of Glass,
Mm-hmm.
something. Yeah, so those series, but I just need to take a break. So I'm gonna go with the Great Gatsby, and actually like the book from those viral series. So they are also from Fitzgerald so it was Tender is the Night. So everyone was asking like what book I read in those videos. So it's 10 Days the Night. So there are some spicy scenes there, but yeah.
I feel like that's so fun though, because they're probably not
they're not as
books
explicit as in
Yeah.
romantasy books.
And also like, so you get, but they're also kind of probably not ones that maybe people would think of or like would gravitate towards. So I think it's fun that when people are like coming to you to be like, oh, what are you reading? You're kind of introducing them to books that aren't going to go viral, or you know, won't be in like the BookTok recommendation kind of section. So I think that that's really fun. So then moving on to like fashion, because I love like all of your outfits in your videos, and I feel like that the kind of iconic, is it like polka dot dress from like the BookTok ones? Like I feel like that's like an absolute classic. So where do you feel like your style inspiration kind of comes from? Because I feel like for me it's definitely the shows I grew up watching, or like the creators that I look to, or anything kind of like that. Is it for you, is that the same like TV shows, or is it kind of like your friends, your family, or magazines, or musical artists, where do you kind of draw that from to create your own style?
Yeah, so I think movies, TV shows, so especially like if we're talking about movies like the 90s, especially like
Mm-hmm.
rom-coms, I'm just a big fan.
Love, yeah.
So it's kind of, yeah, so kind of like that. So it's very simple and also classic. So
Mm.
sometimes I love to tap into something um more um from like earlier years, I think. So it's like um not like the so something that would be wearing in like again Little Women and like Pride and Prejudice
Yeah.
or something like that. Um and yeah, but mostly I think like the 90s and like something with like a little bit vintage, a little bit like with nostalgic, but also like very simple.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like that. Yeah.
Yeah, I love that. It doesn't feel like, I don't know, there's obviously a kind of similar, when you like scroll on TikTok and things, there's a lot of similar trends, or everyone kind of wears, similar
Hmm.
things. So I do like love that about your videos, is that you have your own unique style that definitely, like, you can tell is drawn from different inspirations and different time periods.
Yeah.
And I think that also really helps with your videos. Like, it makes you feel like I'm
Hmm.
watching a scene from a rom-com or from like a
Hmm.
period drama. Because like the costumes and that are kind of, they
Yeah.
like really fit really well.
Yeah.
Where do you have like favorite shops, or do you like to do a lot of, like more charity,
Hmm.
vintage, like sourcing pieces from there?
Hmm. Um, I don't think I have any favorite shops actually. So it's just if I see something that I like it, I just get it. So it's kind of like that, but it's also not a lot. So, um, like I would love to be a little bit more into fashion and like explore and experiment like like um different outfits because right now I think I'm a little bit lazy about that. So I just love I have like a few pieces that I really like and I just wear them all the time, like for example like this jumper, yes. So like I wear it all the time. So yeah, but yeah, so it's not that I have something where I shop all the time. So yeah, no,
I
no,
think
no
that's nice though, to
recommendation
have
for it.
like a like meaningful
Yeah,
wardrobe, because there
yeah,
is, like, especially on social media, so much overconsumption of that kind of things, and the big
yeah.
hauls and all that. So it's nice to have, yeah, like more meaningful pieces that you do love and that you are going to wear for a really long
Hmm.
time, and that
Exactly.
you kind of like connect with, like, you make memories in them and you wear
Hmm.
them to different things.
Yeah.
I think also, just as a content creator, I don't really go a lot of places.
Exactly. Yes.
So I'm like, I have like a few that I
Yeah.
love and I wear them all the time.
Yeah.
So I wear them for videos and stuff, but a lot of the time, like, I'm wearing pajamas, or, when I'm
Exactly.
editing or whatever.
And
So
it's also
yeah.
like people in the comments would ask me like why you keep wearing the same dress or like the same PJs in your videos. That's because I don't have anything else. It's like I really love
So
them.
I like them.
Yes, like why would I have something else? And they are like in good, they're good quality. Like I like them. So yeah, so okay.
Yeah, I think that's so important. It's not, you don't have to wear a new outfit in every
Yeah,
single TikTok. It's like, no, I'm a
exactly.
real person. These are the
Yeah,
clothes I actually
yeah,
wear
yeah.
and like.
Exactly.
So then, in terms of like travel content and things, what would you say is your kind of favorite place you've been to? Like, whether it was a holiday or you lived there, or where
Yeah.
did you really enjoy?
Uh, hmm. I really love Montenegro. Like it's a real
Mm,
nice country. Like it's very beautiful. There are so many like the nature here is like just gorgeous and we've been traveling the entire country, so we've been almost everywhere and every place is just magnificent. So definitely recommend
yeah.
coming here one day. So it's super nice here. But um so yeah, I think that would be the place. And then also there is one place where I would love to go, and I've never been there,
Hmm.
and I really want to go there. I think it's like so much like about my person. So if I were a place, I would be that place, even though I haven't never
Hmm.
been there. So that's Oregon.
Oh yeah.
So like the Pacific Northwest coastline, so like
Hmm.
Oregon and also like Washington. So
Hmm.
that area, I really want to go there one day. So I think it's just gorgeous. It's like ocean meets the forest, and also there are like mountains. I don't know, it's just amazing. So
Yeah, it's like where they filmed Twilight, isn't it? I think.
yes, I love that movie.
So I'm like, yeah. One of the creators I watch, she's called Ali Sheehan, and she did a vlog where she went to like Oregon to see, where they
Hmm.
filmed the Twilight baseball scene and the,
Hmm.
and that. And she just, her vlog, I was like, looks like the most magnificent
Yeah.
place, like the tall trees and the lakes and I just love that more,
Hmm.
like, I guess, rural, like parts of America, like the Carolinas. And yeah, the
Yeah.
like, not such big cities, but like more on the outskirts.
Hmm.
I think that's so fun. Is that more of a holiday, or is that like a you'd like to live there and give
Um,
that a go?
yeah, so it's hard to say since I've never been there, so maybe it's just
Mm.
something in my head. And like maybe I would just hate it. But yeah, so but like in terms of weather conditions and nature and like all of that, so I think that would be ideal for me. So
Yeah, they get
I
like the
would
proper
consider,
seasons there, which
yeah,
is nice.
the seasons which I am used to, since like, well, we have all the seasons like in Russia, for example. So I would
Mm.
love to have that. And also I hate like heat and like hot weather. Like I just all those like I love like rain and all
Yeah,
those like wet
and like
things.
cozy winter time. Yeah.
Yeah, so I think yeah, that would be ideal. But yeah, hopefully one day I'll just go there and then I'll be able to decide.
Lastly, for like the kind of like interests and things, I saw that you had started doing like heels classes, like
Hmm.
dance classes. And I do the same thing, go every Friday. And I love it. I think it's just so fun. What kind of, yeah, drew you to that, like going to do a class like that? Was it, kind of you wanted um just a bit of like fitness, or was
Hmm.
it to like meet people, or to kind of another creative
Hmm.
outlet kind of thing? What do you feel like you get out of it?
I just wanted to kind of like explore my feminine side, I think.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know, at one point I was like, I think this part of me is not really showing. I don't know, like
Mm-hmm.
it's not really there, and like I have that need to actually express it in some way. So that's why I like kind of started exploring with like playing with makeup and like with dress up, and also I was like, how else can I do that? And I was like, okay, maybe dancing, so just to be more in touch with my body, and just with that feminine energy, I think, I
Yeah.
guess. So it's kind of like that. So yeah, because most of the time I feel a lot of tension. I feel kind of like stiff, and I just wanted to be more relaxed and like more comfortable with the, again, like
Mm.
with myself, with my body, and just express myself differently in a more like maybe more elegant way. So it's kind of like that. So yeah,
I feel the
that's
same
what
way.
it
It's
is.
something that I always would like recommend to friends of
Hmm.
mine. I'm like, if you have a dance class near you, like you should go, because it is so much fun. And I feel like as well, it's such a nice environment, like when you want to be more in touch with like that
Hmm.
feminine energy, to go there and be surrounded by women who want the same thing,
Yeah.
and everyone's always so nice and encouraging, and it really, I feel like, helps your
Hmm.
confidence as well.
Yeah.
And like you said, it's just, yeah, like sometimes you just feel a bit like you just need to like let loose a
Hmm.
little, and it's
Exactly.
just
Yeah.
so fun. I feel like whenever I go and I do a class, I always come out of it feeling like refreshed in a way, and like kind of in tune with myself.
Yes.
More like looking into the future of things. So what are your hopes for your content moving forward? You know, you kind of mentioned maybe more cinematic things, and that you're moving more from books to like TV based content. So yeah, kind of like, what do you have planned for your content moving forward?
So more like we're creating more scenes from movies, TV shows, so I think that will be fun. We already have a plan for one specific scene from The Notebook.
Oh my gosh, I will be waiting for that.
Yeah, so I'm super excited. So it's gonna be iconic, I hope.
Yeah.
And then, and then just continue doing what I already do, just sharing relationship advice, maybe some kind of like insights that I get to like with the new status of like being married. So so it's kind of like that, I think. And also um I would love to shift to not to shift but to incorporate um kind of like I don't know, some kind of like a beauty maybe content as
Oh
well.
yeah, I
So I'm
love
already
that.
doing um like about like content about my hair styling. So it's like since I have like curly hair, so I love doing content about that. So maybe something with the makeup, I don't know. So it's just something like that. But yeah, so mostly movie content and like couple content as I've always done that. So I just continue doing
Yeah.
that.
If you had a like Pinterest board or a kind of manifestation board for 2026, what would be on it? You know, like goals, either whether that's personal or content or career wise. What are you kind of hoping to achieve this year?
I wouldn't say for this year, but for upcoming years, I would love to be invited by Netflix or by like other
Yeah. I saw
movie
the Bridgerton
companies.
like
Yeah.
premiere, everyone like all the influencers being invited in all their
Yes.
dresses, and I was like, that looks
That's
amazing.
that's a dream, honestly. And I don't know, like the next premiere of like season 5 would be in a few years. So either, well, maybe in a year, in a few years. Bridgerton, I was like, well. Maybe
You're
it's
like, I'm
my time.
manifesting this is, I'm putting it out into the universe.
Yeah, so
Netflix,
um
where's my invite?
yeah, so kind of like that. And also like Wuthering Heights, I see a lot of like on creators being invited to the premiere of that movie. So it's kind of like towards that. So I think that would be on um my board that I would like.
Yeah.
Those are like big dreams that I have. So
Yeah.
something like that. And also probably figuring out like our next move, like what's gonna be. Um so I think that should be the set like that should be settled in the next couple of years. So yeah.
I love that. I'll be waiting. I'll be waiting to see your red carpet looks,
Oh,
and then your moving vlogs on your YouTube channel as well.
yeah,
I'll be
that's
like,
probably,
notifications
yeah,
on. I'm
that's the
waiting.
plan.
So then we're going to kind of like round it off with the questions that I ask everybody. And the first one is, what is your favorite TV show?
That's a real tough question because there are so many of them.
Yeah.
I'm kind of torn between The Vampire Diaries and Gilmore Girls, so but I'm probably gonna say Gilmore
Great
Girls.
choices. Yeah, I really need to watch Gilmore Girls. I haven't seen it, and like,
Oh my God,
I need to watch
yes,
it.
you need to watch it.
Yeah.
I am jealous a little bit because that's such a good show and you like get to watch it for the first
Like,
time.
get to watch it for the first time. Yeah, I'm so excited. And then it doesn't have to be from either of those shows, but it can be. Who's your favorite TV show character?
Mm, it's a good question. Um, I would say Caroline Forbes.
That's such a good one.
Just because again, like, yeah, like she developed in such a like amazing way. So I think that's just yeah, I just love that. So you can see like if you compare her like the first episode and then like to like when during the seasons how she changes. Yeah, that's just amazing. I love that.
Yeah, I love like a complex
Mm-hmm.
character arc like that.
Yeah.
We can really become like invested in their
Mm-hmm.
kind of journey as a character. Um, I'm hoping you'll do some like Vampire Diaries
Oh,
as part of your recreation series.
yeah.
I'm waiting for that.
That's
Um,
probably gonna be something like with the Catherine Pierce probably. Which is
yes.
actually funny because my last name is Petrova, which is the
Mm-hmm.
same as Catherine. So I was like,
Yeah, you need to capitalize
yeah.
on it. You need to be like, guys, I was born to play this role,
Exactly.
actually.
And when I saw, I think it was Damon who actually said it out loud that she's Petrova, and I was like, oh, he's pronouncing my last name. Saying that as a married woman, sorry.
It's fine. I feel like for Ian Somerhalder, it doesn't count.
Oh
He
yeah,
doesn't
yeah,
count.
of course.
Um, and then a recent movie or that you saw or show that you're watching that you would recommend to people.
Show. Um, I don't know if anyone hasn't seen like Stranger Things,
Mm-hmm.
you go watch it.
I actually haven't seen Stranger Things.
Really? Oh my God.
I know.
Oh my God.
I know. It's
Wow.
I'm like I feel like such a like a fraud because I feel
No,
like
wait,
all
why
of my
not? Why you
my
just
YouTube channel is like all about
yeah.
TV, and yeah, I haven't seen some of the biggest shows. I saw the first season, and then when everything was kind of happening with the final season, I was like,
Mhm.
I feel like I need to get back into this because it
Yeah.
looks really good and
Yeah.
everybody is talking about it.
Of course. No, and
So
like the
yeah.
static of like again those like nostalgic feelings is just amazing.
Mm-hmm.
Like those retro vibes. So just love it. Yeah. Just for the
Did you ever
atmosphere.
watch?
What?
Yeah, love that. Did you ever watch Riverdale?
No. Mm-mm.
See, that's like a similar thing. I love
Oh.
the retro vibes of that. Like they all
Mm-hmm.
have phones and whatever, so it's not like set in those times, but
Mm-hmm.
there's like diners and the way that they dress and
Mm-hmm.
all of that. I feel like, yeah, like you said with Stranger Things, that'll really draw me into a show. It's
Yeah.
just the overall look of it and like
Mm-hmm.
the vibe of it,
Yeah.
which I think is so fun. But that was all of my questions. So thank you so much for joining me today. That
Yeah.
was so like sweet of you to
Oh, thank you
take
for having
so
me.
long out of your day. Bless you. I've kept you for so long.
No, no, that's totally
Um,
fine. Yeah, I really enjoyed it. It was like my first time.
your first like podcast
Yeah.
interview ever.
Thank you guys so much for listening to this episode of the Pretty and Witty podcast. Please make sure to go and follow and support all the guests that I have spoken to, not just today, but throughout this entire series. There are so many amazing creators out there, and I'm so excited to keep talking to them. And I hope you guys will subscribe to this channel. I will see you guys next week for another episode.
Okay, see you again next week. Love you, bye.